Hello, everybody. It's my privilege to introduce to you, all the way from the south side of Chicago, the man, the myth, the legend, my Theo, your brother, the Southside Unicorn.
Hey, everybody. It's your boy, Kim White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and it is the day before the day. That means it's the day before New Year's Eve. Where the heck are you? I tell you where I'm at. I'm here on the show with some of the coolest people in the world, like Bobby, Bobby Flay, whatever his name is, you say, ladies and gentlemen, right? And I have with me today, Bentley Fierro, Darlene, Madison, Nick. There'll be many, many others joining us as the show goes on, but we're going to get this party started. Now, when I say get this party started, y'all, I want your opinion on something. What y'all think about this? If I rock it like this, are we rocking it or what's happening? You know what I'm saying? I figured.
Right. I forgot to bring mine.
Oh, hey, you got to do it. You got to have it. Work it up, pop, you know? So this is how we're going to do the show, ladies and gentlemen. And you want to stay with it. Well, hold on. Let me stay in character. Y'all want to stay with this because what's going to happen in a minute is this. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that happened in 2021 because a lot of stuff happened in 2021. Now, let me get back to myself. We're going to talk about what happened in politics, in the entertainment world, the sports world, and everybody's going to share their own individual story about what they thought was significant about 2021, whether it was personal, whether it was something in the political world. You don't want to miss it. So without any further ado, we're going to get started. Bentley, I want to start with you, brother. What was your most memorable event in 2021?
All right. Most memorable event in 2021. You know, I got very involved with the pro-life movement. I have some great friends involved in pro-life. So we had some pro-life rallies.
Okay.
And truly amazing. We're holding signs, pro-life, babies' lives matter, pro-life, you know, factual evidence stuff. And you'd be amazed. Had the devil himself come out in a form. And it's very sad. The biggest supporters, from what I've seen of the pro-choice movement, were very angry women, very angry. And they would drive by the car, throw stuff at us, yell obscenities.
Wait. I got to stop you right there, brother. Did you say throw stuff at you?
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Just bottled water, just things, yeah, just childish stuff, you know? We're at the street corner. This is Newport Beach. So we stand in the street corner right there, and women screaming, throwing things at us, women yelling obscenities like, I don't care, I'll murder. I mean, every cuss word, every bad word. I mean, my goodness, these are ladies speaking out against us. And I just cannot believe the amount of hatred and people attacking us, that these were all just angry, obviously leftist women. And also as well, the worst part is we had a lot of women come to us saying, I'm Christian, but a woman should have her choice. It's hers. You know, I'm like, you're not Christian.
Oh, wait. I got to stop you there too, yeah. Bentley. You're giving up a lot on your memory. So, you know, you say that they walk up to you and they're telling you that they're Christian.
Oh yeah.
They believe a woman has a right to unweave what God wove.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So how did that turn out? Did you convert anybody? Did you stop anybody from walking?
No. You know, my problem is look, I have women attacking me, so I poke back, and this is the amazing thing.
Wait a minute. Okay, see, I find myself constantly stopping you, but we're going to move on to another person in a minute. Yeah. What do you mean you poke back? What does that mean?
So I have women yelling, calling me all these bad names, and so I just let them know, you should be at home right now. Your husband is waiting. Why don't you cook some dinner? He's had a long day.
No. Bentley, you got women on the screen that's going to come at you, man. You can't be talking like that in the 21st century. In 2021, no wonder they was throwing stuff at you, man. So, okay, that was your most memorable event. Now, I must admit, I'm a right to life person myself. I believe that these are the issues that are going to define us in 2022.
Yeah.
Because where you stand on that issue should determine where you vote. But then again, you said you got Christian women who I ain't touching that. So Madison, what's your thoughts on his memory? What are your opinion on that?
Well, we all don't cook very well. So,
I knew you was gonna say that.
some of us belong in other places.
So let me ask you a question, Madison. Can you cook?
When I want to.
if you wanted to, you could cook up a storm, but you'd rather go to Denny's.
Yeah.
There it is. So Darlene, you heard what my brother Bentley was saying, you know. Well, I know you old man. I know. Go ahead. What you got to say?
Well, you know, it's a tough one. While I believe in the majority of what you said, Bentley, having worked in social services and social work and seeing all sorts of family situations and seeing all sorts of things that happen, I can't be a 100% one way or the other. I have to temper it with what's going on with a specific family, a specific situation.
So you believe it? You believe it is?
I can have my own personal beliefs, but I've had to have a different work belief, a different work.
Well, you need to tell him what you do for what you did for a living, so he understands where you're coming from.
Well, I've been a manager in child welfare in the state of Oregon for the last 30 years. And I work with the families where children are in foster care, or the children are removed, or they're placed for adoption, or they're returned home. And so, that's a pretty liberal profession. And they don't want to hear a lot of other views. But on the other hand, on the behalf of the children, there's a lot of things that we do. So that's a tough one for me. I have to kind of keep that one under wraps. I do believe that there are. I do believe that there are times. I do believe there are times when situations arise where there is a decision that has to be made by the woman because there isn't the other person around, and I see that a lot. But I also see the game playing. So, it's a catch-22 for me.
Right. And again, let's remember, we're all sharing our memories and our most significant thing, not so much for critique, but just to, to expand on it ourselves. I want to acknowledge Agnes Gibbony. She just came into the room. Agnes, thank you for coming on.
Hi, Agnes. Hi.
Outstanding. You look great. Look at you.
Thank you.
You ready to do it to it. You ready for New Year's Eve, huh?
Especially for you.
Oh, you're making me feel all warm over here.
Oh, you're making us look bad.
Yeah, I know. Nick, you over there in the cut, bruh. I see you got your MAGA hat on. Kudos for that. But what do you think about my man Bentley's memory, man? What's up?
Well, I know Bentley on a personal level, and I know him around here in the Orange County activism area, and he's always doing a good job out at rallies. And I think the reality of what he's pointing out to is that if you go out and try to, defend human life or do anything, remotely conservative or try to stand on your values in any way, even in Orange County, which is, pretty red, you're still going to get a lot of pushback from the left. And it's just really taken a lot of people. I think people have to realize that we have to really stand firm in our convictions and our principles, because they're going to come at us no matter what. So that's what I think. That's what I really took from it the most.
That's true. And we just had Kathy Hatch come in. She's the host of kathysright.com. She's one of my Mike sisters, and boy, does she have a good show. You're going to want to check it out. It's called kathysright.com. Now, Nick, are you not running for office?
Yes, I am. I'm running in what is now the new CA40. I was formerly running in CA45 against the West Coast AOC, Katie Porter. I was running against Sean Collins, Amy Fan West, Brian Burley, and Chris Gonzalez in the field of Republicans. Now, as far as I know, it's just myself and Young Kim, I believe, running as the Republicans in the new deep red CA40, which stretches from around the Saddleback Mountain areas. So South County.
Okay, watch this. You and I hope I can get you to come on. I'm going to ask you to let me just do a nice one-on-one with you so that people can understand what happened when they did this redistricting thing. It's sketch. I mean, it came back, the whole districts came back weird. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, to be honest, I was just focused on where I've been living for the past 10 years, Laguna Hills, in the redistricting. And yes, gerrymandering and redistricting is a big issue. But in my new district, the 40th, I think it's actually done a lot of great things in this instance, just because now if you look at our electoral geography out here, we have South Orange County, which is a very affluent, very conservative part of Orange County, coupled with Yorba Linda, which is the birthplace of Richard Nixon, and again, a very affluent conservative area, and Chino Hills, which is a very nice city, and Riverside County. And if you're a basketball fan, that's where the Ball family.
Great. So what you're saying is you're going to take OC back red. It's slightly purplish or going blue, but you're going to
it's going blue. It's trending blue. But yeah, I want to be out there to offer a real comprehensive America First platform. You know, I'm a big Donald Trump fan. Young Kim voted to confirm Joe Biden's electoral victory against Donald Trump, which, you know, I think was false. I think Donald Trump did win the 2020 election.
Man,
and then
I'm gonna have to I'm gonna pump the brakes on you for a minute, brother, because we got this like time thing going on. But I definitely want to be talking to you more. But now, since you were the last person to speak, you're the person that's got to pick.
Okay.
What is this? A or B? Which one do you want?
I want to go with A.
You want to go with A?
Yes.
We got to take a hard break, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, more people are coming in. It's getting more and more interesting every second. This is question B, and it's called the AUKUS deal debut. We're going to talk about the AUKUS deal when we come back.
It's Joy Villa, and I'm reminding you to tune in to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend Ken White.
Do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you.
Hey, everybody. It's your boy, Ken White. And this is the show that is the day before the day. That's right. The day before New Year's Eve. It came that quick, y'all. In the last segment, we had a lot of good stuff. And my man Bentley was putting it down. He was keeping it real. He's out there fighting for the children, not the ones that are already here, but the ones that are trying to get here. And I believe that's one of the most important fights anybody will ever have. Thank you, Bentley, for being the one out there handling that business. But when we left off, Nick Torres was telling us a whole lot of stuff about this redistricting. So we're going to have a separate show for that because the people need to know what the hell is going on. But we did leave off where he picked question B. Question B is the AUKUS deal debut. Does anybody know offhand what the AUKUS is? AUKUS deal. Happened in September 15th of 2021. Anybody know what it is? Doom, 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 doom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, all right, fine.
Excuse me, Kenny, can I bring something up to your attention? If I'm not mistaken, Nick picked A.
Did you pick A, Nick?
Yeah, I did. But it's your show, so
Sorry.
I'll let you go.
Oh, no. That's okay. Oh, my goodness. No, I'm good. I don't know what the heck that was. Thank you, Aggie. So that means you picked A, which is Bean Dad and Ratatouille, the TikTok musical. Anybody know what that was about? Darlene's shaking her head. She says she knows. So go ahead and unmute yourself, Darlene, and have at it.
That's the movie about the rats.
Close. This is called, and let me acknowledge Kathy Hatch. I gave you some love in there, sister. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Long day.
Oh, yeah. Put it this way. It always seems to be that last 72 hours of any year, we're all just all over the place. We're busy. Okay,
Yes.
Here we go. If you were online in the first week of 2021, you couldn't miss these two memes on TikTok. The Bean Dad was about this father who was trying to teach his daughter how to date, and it went viral. And the Ratatouille TikTok musical, it was because you got to remember, we were catching hell with COVID. Nobody was making no money. We were just barely coming back. And so the artist industry, the performers, they created Ratatouille, the TikTok musical, to support the how can I put it, the struggling actors. That's what that was about. And they actually raised over $1 million to give to everybody during the COVID situation, but it was kind of exclusive to stars. So does that refresh anybody's memory about that at all? Nobody? They are drawing a blank on that one, huh? See, that's how it goes. There was so much going on in 2021 that we just couldn't, put our hands around it. So Darlene, what was your most memorable event in 2021? And I bet you I could guess what it is.
Well, the personal one is completely separate.
Oh,
from
wait, whoa. You trying
Because
to
you were
get
going to
two
go
for
month
one.
by month.
You're trying to get 2 for 1.
I'm trying to get 2
you
for
get
1.
1.
That's called being a good manager. You know what? I'm going to say my most significant event of the year, which I'm still trying to work through, is the withdrawal from Iraq and our president making the decision to leave troops and citizens behind. Excuse me, I guess not troops behind, but the citizens behind. And I have to say, the reason why I say that is because it touches the very core of how I was raised, which is with patriotism. And when you put all that together, I mean, we've had these conversations. How is that allowed to happen? First of all. Second of all, people complained about it. Our elected officials complained about it. Here you go, Nick. You can listen to this. But where was the outcry and the action? The outcry to me means nothing if there's no action behind it. I mean, why wasn't the voice heard from Republicans and from Democrats? This shouldn't have been a political issue to say, President Biden, what the hell are you doing? Why did you do this? Wait a minute, let's back up. Let's send our stuff. Let's send our planes, our ships, our automobiles, whatever, back over there, and let's figure out how to get people out. And not only for that, but a show of force that they were important.
Yeah.
I mean, probably most of us in this room were raised with the Pledge of Allegiance every day in school. We knew every holiday. I know every patriotic song.
Well,
and we used to know all the words to
you're
it.
dating yourself right now, Darlene.
I know, I'm dating myself
some people might
really
not,
badly.
Some people might
Well,
not remember the Pledge of
I see
Allegiance.
some heads nodding.
You're dating me
and I have
too.
to- right. I saw your head nodding, so I didn't think I was too far out in left field. And I asked my granddaughter, who's 10, do you say the Pledge of Allegiance in school? And she said, no, they don't. She didn't know what it was. Couldn't recite it. And I still know it from heart. How often do we say it? Maybe once or twice a year at an event or something.
Let me come with my man, Nick. Nick, can you turn on your mic, Nick?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember the Pledge of Allegiance? Did they do it in your classroom?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all. Of course, everyone who knows. Yeah,
not everybody knows that. There's some kids right now who are going to grow up in this country, and you're going to stand there and do that, and they're going to go, huh? What? Pledge?
Yeah, it's really sad. It was a really great part of our civic tradition. And I think it's one of those things the left has distorted and tried to attribute some kind of a malicious intent to. And really, I think it was just a patriotic affirmation of our love of country to start our day at work or school and various things like that. So, but yeah, just to her point on patriotism too. And maybe I could kind of offer a different view here, and not to maybe get things too spicy here to kick off, but just when it comes to the withdrawal from Afghanistan, because that was a pretty memorable moment. I guess I'll get to mine when you ask me later. But in regards to my feelings on the withdrawal from Afghanistan, I say this with respect. Of course, the withdrawal and everything about it was totally botched and it was awful. But I kind of pushed back against people, and I know there was a lot of anger. But what I thought was really awful was the past 20 years we spent in Afghanistan with, I think, honestly, and I mean with all due respect, no offense to our soldiers or anything like that, but with quite literally very little accomplished. And we ended up spending $2 trillion in Afghanistan. And we actually spent, and if you look at what we spent on nation building efforts, which was around 143 billion, which is according to an agency called SIGAR, SIGAR, the money we spent in nation building in Afghanistan was more than what we distributed to all the countries who received money from the Marshall Plan to rebuild Europe after World War II. And look at the state it's in today. And what's really disheartening is that we spent all that money, we spent all that effort, we thought we were winning hearts and minds. And you saw the Afghan government and its armed forces, who we trained and spent significant amount of money on, totally turned tail and run.
I'm going to have to pump the brakes on that. That might be your most memorable moment. You're absolutely right. The 20 years outstrips the last few weeks of the dreaded decisions of Joe Biden. But now it's time for me to slide on over there to Madison. Hey, Madison.
Well said, Nick. I just want to say, well said. I agree.
No, I hear you're a great patriot. I think a lot of people had that. It was a horrible withdrawal, and I understand everyone's sentiment. I'm just saying, I think we have to start putting America first. I think your sentiments with that too, and everyone a great opinion.
May I say something?
Hold on. No. Hold on, guys. We got a schedule to keep here.
Sorry, I apologize.
It is Madison's turn. It's Madison's turn. Madison, what was your most memorable moment?
Mine was kind of a running moment. I kind of got involved with the Hollywood. I've never been involved with that at all. And I was really surprised to learn how much of that genre, whatever, of people actually agree with us, and they don't speak up. And
you're talking about the Moranos. They call themselves Moranos because they have to hide that they're Republicans, huh?
Yeah, and a lot of it's middle of the road. I think there's more middle of the road than anyone wants to admit, and it's just the extremists that are really running everything. And I think that's where we need to just really, I don't know, that was my most memorable with this whole COVID thing and everything that's going on. It's like we're really more alike than we admit. And I think if everybody would just put their egos down, we could accomplish a lot more and just dealing and seeing how other people.
Okay, watch this. I got to ask you a question, Madison. I've been watching these Democrats, some people like to say demon rats. I'm not trying to go down that road, but I've been watching them for many years. They seem to be getting further and further.
The ones that you see in the media, yeah. But the ones that are everyday people, the ones that are on the sidelines, I think there's a lot more middle ground than we can meet on if we speak up, and people in the middle ground speak up more versus the extremists.
Well, watch this. I'm doing host privilege right now. I want to ask you a question. What is your thought about Alec Baldwin and his "I didn't do it, the gun just went off"?
I don't think I can say the word on here, but he's full of it. Guns don't shoot by themselves.
I just figured I'd ask you that because the last time I ran into you, you had just bought this very nice. What was that? A Glock?
Which one? I don't know.
It was the one that was it purple? Was it purple or pink?
It's Tiffany blue. Yes.
It's Tiffany blue. Yeah, she bought this new firearm and it was hot. I'm like, so you're going to get popped and you're going to die at the hands of a Tiffany blue weapon. That's just there's something weird about that.
Competition. Yeah.
There it is. So I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna go over there to my Mike sister, Kathy. Kathy, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you understand. You got your show. You got to stay on track. You got timelines. What did you want to say, my good friend?
Oh, referring to my most memorable moment was this last May during the shutdown when my mom was battling. She had a lot of heart failure. And she died, and we were not able to visit her as a family. And I'm thinking about a lot of people who died alone. They only allowed one person per day to visit her. So my husband never got to visit her, and she loved him so much because we had to really ration our time. And I think that the shutdown was ridiculous. I think that it had no merit whatsoever. I myself have been in the hospital years and years ago with double pneumonia and had tubes in my lungs, and nobody even came in the room with a freaking mask on. And now they shut down businesses and people are dying alone in hospitals for a political advantage for the Democrats. That's what I see.
And that's your most memorable moment. And I understand what you're saying because when you're flesh and blood, that's your family. If you want to take the risk of risking your life for them as an American, as a free American, you should have the right to make that choice. I think that was, I have to agree with you. That was ugly. And you know what, Nick? You are absolutely right. I was going to get to you, and that time has come. What is your most memorable moment, brother?
Well, my most memorable moment happened very early in 2021. I think people may have an idea what I'm going to say, but it was honestly January 6th. I did not attend January 6th. I was at work that day. I watched it all unfold on the news and the events as they transpired, the tragic death of Ashley Babbitt, who I think is an American hero and worthy of remembrance. And it's really had an impact on me because I was actually invited to go to January 6th that day. But I decided not to because I just had a bad feeling in my stomach. And my father and I decided to stay back. A group of other people went. And it was really just disheartening to see how they treated many of the Americans in the days following, and the fact that they arrested so many people and had FBI signs up to go. And I think tried to arrest people for basically walking around the Capitol and not really doing anything wrong. And aside from that, there's also a lot of questions, and revelations regarding the FBI's involvement in planning informants and other things like that. And problems we have with lack of footage being classified, and the way that these people, who I think there's still, I believe, around several dozen people still being held behind bars, without any trial or anything. It's
That
totally
right there, brother,
unacceptable.
you tapped on it greatly right there, because here's and thank you, Nick, for being such a strong, savvy patriot. I'm getting a good feel about you, bro. You got your boots on, and thank you for that. How are you going to take a man who just walked around the Capitol, didn't go inside, didn't cause any harm, but they got him on video? See, they got him on video. So he's languishing away in a jail. He's over there. Kids can't see him. Life is ruined because he ain't got no job no more, right? But they just tried to get a bill passed. I'm trying to remember, was it Georgia or Baltimore, where if you bust caps, if you do a drive-by, they trying to get you out in 2 weeks or less. No, I'm serious, Bentley. I'm not playing this around. Yeah, I know. You're like, what the hell?
There's a meme for you with Bentley's laugh.
I'm gonna capture that. That was sweet. But yeah, Nick, you could probably expand on that. That here you have the J6 Patriots, J6P. They're all still languishing away. But now if you bust the drive-by, they're trying to get you out in 2 weeks or less so you can keep on doing that thing. You know what I mean?
Well, it's really this concept I've come to learn. I mean, I'm a young guy. I'm 29. I'm actually turning 30 on January 1st. So I'm kind of, send me out to pasture, I guess. I was, like I said, I'm turning 30 in a couple of days. But one of the best lessons I think I've learned in politics, or one of the things I've seen really happen in our country and what I think is deteriorating in our country, is this thing called anarcho-tyranny, where you see people who are hardworking Americans. A lot of these people who are J6ers, are just people who own businesses or were blue collar Americans, their grandmothers, fathers, mothers, and they're getting the full weight of the justice system thrown at them. Meanwhile, we witnessed last year in the aftermath of George Floyd's death, violent riots occur all across the country, which caused something like $2 billion in damages and 25 deaths. And you had those people getting bailed out by, left-wing Hollywood actors, getting support from prominent Democrats. And I think it's honestly, I'm a Republican, I'm running as a Republican, but I think it's totally unacceptable the way in which the Republican Party has totally absconded their duties.
So see, watch this. I'm going to pump the brakes on you again. You just, on the inside of you is just all this stuff. And I don't know if it's because you're 29 years old and you're a hardcore patriot or what's going on here, but I'm liking it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
We're going to go back to you at some other point in the show. And I want to have you come on as a one-on-one guest. I think that really needs to happen, brother. So we're going to get that done because you got 250,000 people looking at you right now. Pretty easy. I want to go to my girl, Agnes. Agnes Givney. I'm just going to put it this way. What was your most memorable moment in 2021?
Well, good or bad, could be either one.
It could be whatever you want. You got the mic.
I think the most shocking, memorable event of 2021 and disappointing is how our country is turning into a socialist country, becoming the country that my family fled from. And also that our government is opening the borders, allowing a flood of illegal aliens into this country. While Black Lives Matter's lives are the most important, lives of American citizens killed by illegal aliens means absolutely nothing. And illegal aliens are going to get rewarded by getting $450,000 if they're separated, while families like mine, who are permanently separated by 6 feet of dirt in a coffin, gets absolutely zero attention.
Yeah, you're right, Agnes. And to expand on your memory, I want to say this much. I must not be Black. Because, see, I didn't vote for Joe Biden, and I'm kind of really glad of that. Watch this. I'm proud that I did not vote for Barack Hussein Obama, and that's his name, so don't trip on me. I didn't vote for the man, not once, not twice, and I'm so glad I didn't. You know what I mean? And then it comes to this man, Joe Biden. Hey, look at here, man. If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. What white person in their right mind would say something like that?
A white liberal would say something like that.
You're right,
they get to define who is Black and who isn't. I mean, really.
But Good you Lord. Just said it, Kenny, a person in the right mind. And everybody knows that Joe Biden is not in his right mind.
At all.
There you go.
At all. So, here we go into our next, here we go into our next break. And Madison, I'm going to pick you. You get to pick between A or B. Can you see him right there? Which one do you want?
We'll go with A again.
You want to do A again?
That means he's gonna pick B.
Yeah, right. So I'm going to put this one down. That one goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we got to deal with question B. Yeah,
She
part
picked
B.
A, Ken.
What?
She picked A.
Oh, you know why I'm doing that, guys? I'm gonna tell you why I'm doing that. Because it's inverted in the camera. That's why.
That's a good excuse.
No, it's a fact. So okay, we're gonna be right back after these messages. Go nowhere.
Hey, my name is Toot Sweet, and I'm New York City's original artist, singing for the cause of freedom. I've spent the last 10 years of my life documenting history through my music. It's like a recipe that's blessing me, bringing out the best of me, aggressively testing me to create my own destiny and understanding, universally accepting adversity and learn more lessons in life than you're learning any. And when I'm in need of a dose of reality to escape the liberal land of make-believe, I tune in to the Southside Unicorn, where the truth is as solid as New York City concrete. My name is Toot Sweet, and you're listening to my friend Ken White on the Southside Unicorn, and this party is just getting started.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Ken White, and we are back for the third segment. And I don't know if we're doing A or B, left or right, up or down, but we're having fun. I hope you are too. So when we left off, Madison picked A. She picked A, y'all, not B. Okay. Now here comes some prophetic energy. That's why I love doing this show the way we do it. It's an organic show. It's a very real show. People love it that way. A is all about the Capitol insurrectionist. Mm-hmm. That's what this one is about. And I think it's really telling because this was actually pulled from the CNN caption of what happened at the Capitol. They call it the horrific insurrectionist event. Were there insurrectionists at CHAP or Chaz? Anybody familiar with CHAP or Chaz?
I remember.
Do you remember, Kathy?
Yes, and they set up their own little town there. Was it Portland?
Oh, yeah. Portland,
Seattle.
Oregon. Portland, Oregon.
No,
Yeah.
Seattle.
Summer of Love. Remember that?
Yeah, it was all about love. But wait a minute, didn't two young African Americans, two young black men get murdered inside CHAP? Mm-hmm. Anybody remember that?
Yes, I do. I remember it. It was top news here the whole time.
But now fast forward,
you're closer.
And the Capitol, the people who went to the Capitol wearing their MAGA hats, their shorts, and their Birkenstocks, you know what I mean? Just milling around trying to say, we didn't agree with this election. It was funky. It was funky. It was funky. I think we used to have a right to do that. I think that, grievances against our government is one of the hallmarks of our nation. What do you think, Madison?
I actually know someone that had the FBI knock on his door after that happened. He lives up here. He's opening a gym. He was in the middle of opening the gym when it happened.
Wow.
And it was pretty outrageous that actually happened. And he didn't do anything other than be present to stand up for what he believed in.
So isn't it kind of prophetic, again, that you picked A and A is about Capitol insurrectionists? So what happened to him? Is he okay? Is he free?
He's got a legal battle. He's got to spend a lot of money on now.
So they're going to economically ruin him for daring to stand up for what he believed was his rights.
Yeah.
Wow. So are they like, how the Nazis used to do it, the SS? They wouldn't just go after the people they wanted. They went after their friends and everybody. Anybody knocking on your door?
Not mine so far.
Not yet.
I want to, but not yet.
That's pretty, and our friend Agnes, like she said, her family fled communism. And if I'm not mistaken, they fled Budapest, right?
Correct. And I do have two friends that got raided by the FBI. And if you watch the movie, The Plot Against the President, he is right at the beginning of the show. He's in a wheelchair. He's a paraplegic. And his house was raided. All his computer, cameras, cell phone, everything got taken by the FBI.
Wow. So Nick, do you know did any of your friends still go, even though your father and you didn't go?
Just to be honest, I prefer not to say because this is being recorded. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
On a good thing, though, I will say, though, just on a side note, Agnes, if you're from Hungary, I actually spent nearly 2 years as an English teacher in Kolocha, Hungary. So much love to that country and a great history of fighting left-wing terrorists in their history. So, yeah,
there
great
it is. So now I'm going to my boy Bentley. Bentley, you've been sitting there in the cut looking all GQ and very, back there. Taking it all in is what you're doing. I can see that. You're just taking it all in. What's your thoughts on what you're hearing, brother?
Yeah. Did anyone enter with weapons? I don't think so. And there's a lot of gray information right now. So just like what Tucker Carlson says, everything that he's been stating, I follow a lot. And it's very sad to see what's happening because justice is supposed to be blind. And it looks like today in our society, it's not blind. It looks like it's
not
blue.
At all.
Yeah.
It's blue.
Not at all.
Yeah.
On that insurrection, the lady that died in that, she was from San Diego. There wasn't much on that. I just want to know what they kind of dropped that whole story.
Yeah.
Well, they have to because that was murder, clear and simple. Yeah. And you know what? At Madison, we have a mutual friend. His name is Phil Naiman. He has the Firing Line radio show. He invited me on his show on January 4th and asked me what my thoughts were about, the impending January 6th rally. And just like Nick and his father, I had a bad feeling about it. It didn't sit well with me because I know our enemy. And I'm sorry to call them that because of what you said, Madison, that there's this gray area. But some of them are our stone cold enemies. They would kill us if they could. And I said on his show, and so you can go back to the show, it was on January 4th, 2021. And I said, don't go. But if you have to go, look out for the ladies. They're going to be going after our ladies. And sure enough, we lost one. And being a former police officer in the military and civilian, I'm going to tell you right now, I understand that they were basically, assaulting the Capitol. When you see people coming, well, it was set up and staged because the ones coming over the fence in backpacks, that wasn't us. No. That wasn't us. But it was the optic because nasty Pelosi is just that nasty. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to the J6 situation, it's going to carry over into 2022. And it looks as if, though, they're going to try to grapple hook President Trump into that damn thing. And that's to probably ruin his chances for being president in 2024. Anybody's thoughts on that?
I have some thoughts on that.
Let me hear
I personally believe Nancy had something to do with it because who had the most to gain and who had the most to lose by people entering the Capitol that day? Trump had the most to lose. Nancy, she knee-jerked an impeachment as quick as could be without any sort of investigation. She had the most to gain. So, and you're a cop, a former cop.
Mm-hmm.
Motive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everything goes back to motive, opportunity. They won't put it this way. The Democrats came up golden. January 6th gave them everything they needed. They get to vilify us. Yeah, they get to vilify us. And that was the slippery, slope on that thing. They got to say, now we are the insurrectionists. While, as Darlene and Madison and Agnes have pointed out, in Portland, Oregon, go ahead, Darlene. Correct me. You know what I'm saying? You have all of these Antifa and Black Lives Matters. I thought we saw a police officer be murdered on the video while they were trying to take over a pawn shop. The retired cop, right? Trying to protect his friend's property. Which obviously we're gonna tap a little bit on Rittenhouse in a minute, but we have to go take a break right now, and we're about to enter into the last segment. There's going to be a lot of things I want to ask all of you guys, so bear with me. For those of you watching, this is why you watch the Southside Unicorn. I bet you didn't leave your chair. I bet you didn't move. You know how you like this stuff. I like it. Do you guys like it too?
Yes.
Okay. 100%.
100%.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Hey, we'll be right back after these messages. Go nowhere.
You are listening to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend, Ken White. He'll be back after these messages.
Hey, it's your boy Ken White, and we are in the fourth segment of the day before the day, talking about things that happened in 2021. There is so much that happened in 2021. This really should have been a 2-hour special, but we're in our last segment right now. And you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and do this right quick. Pop quiz, and if you know the answer, just chime in. Pop quiz. What sport did Brandon Brown participate in?
NASCAR.
Kathy beat you by a second.
That's all good.
So Kathy, you get to talk about whatever you want to talk about for a couple minutes, and then we'll move on to something else. What's up, girl?
I love the Let's Go Brandon thing. I loved it so much because really it was making fun of the media as well as how we really feel about Joe Biden. Because the media lies about him. They just go, oh yeah, they're all still pretending he's sane. They're all still pretending he doesn't have dementia. And we all know that he does, but the crowd's really chanting, let's go Brandon, when we can all clearly hear the other. And so they're all,
you gotta give her
they
props.
Think we're still buying it, and we're not buying it anymore.
But you got to give her props because there she sits. She's interviewing a first class athlete. Doing this thing. This is her moment. And
that
all
was
of a
her
sudden,
moment.
Oh, yeah, come on. I mean, think about somebody who gets to interview LeBron James. If you get to do LeBron, to you that's the greatest day for you. So she had to do something. She's back there going, oh man, are they saying what I think they're saying? Oh my God, they better not be saying that.
Well, she showed them for the liars that they are, though.
Let's go, Brandon. You know what I mean?
Let's go, Brandon. And for a person who's trying to get over cussing, it's really great for me.
It works good for you, huh?
Yes.
Who was it? There was this guy, and I maybe one of you guys can expand on it in a minute. I thought it was like a fake video. I really did. So maybe you guys can help me with this. It had Joe Biden and his doctor wife doing their Christmas thing, and some dude got him. Did
Oregon.
What? Oh, Portland, Oregon, huh? See, I knew you was gonna get some positive up in there somehow. You got it. Well, why you be repping for Portland so hard, girl? Damn.
Oh, we earned that.
Okay. Isn't you guys' motto "Stay weird, keep it weird"?
Yes. Keep Oregon weird. Keep Portland weird, actually.
Yeah. So anyway, homeboy managed to get Joe Biden to say, "Let's go, Brandon." He was that real? That's real,
yes,
right?
That was real. It's taped. He was taking
Joe
comment.
Biden said,
he was
I
taking
agree.
I agree.
Hey, out of the mouths of babes, right?
And if you watch the video, you see his wife's face just go, oh crap.
But she still got a yeah, I saw that. She was like, shut the hell up, shut. He probably got like bruises all on his ribs and whatnot. She's probably just like cranking him up, be like, shut the hell up. Okay, watch this, guys. Pop quiz. What cartoon character is Pasaki normally related with?
Grinch.
The
Grinch.
Do we all know?
Raggedy Ann.
Close. You know what? I'm gonna go again. What cartoon character is Jen Psaki normally associated with? It's a Peanuts character.
Scooby-Doo?
No, it's a Peanuts character.
Peppermint Patty.
Bingo! There it is. Peppermint Patty.
There you go.
So Bentley, the mic is yours, brother.
First of all, let me bring up one thing. The Let's Go Brandon crypto token came out last month. Right now, I bought it last month, so just so you know. And as of today, since now it's the Let's Go Brandon is officially linked with the actual NASCAR driver as a sponsor.
Oh yeah, he owned it, right?
Something like that. It's going up the value. So people, you still got time right now to invest in the Let's Go Brandon token. It's still very new, and today it's been going up. So that's
how much. What was your buy-in? If I can ask, what was your buy-in?
I'm very, I am extremely conservative. So I put in $50. I put in another $50 now. So got
how much did that get you? Did it get you 50 coins, 10 coins? What's happening?
Yeah, it's some kind of a percentage kind of thing.
Okay.
But what's most important is when I bought it last month, I bought it when it was worthless. Now it's gone up today. And while it's going up, I put a little more money. So, hey, maybe I can make a couple $100. That'd be pretty cool.
Why not? I'm gonna let you know. I got some money dropped down in Taiwan with my fingers crossed. I'm serious. I'm just keeping it real like that. So when you look at how 2021 is ending, I want to get a prognostication from everybody here. I'm gonna start with Nick. Nick, in like a short 30-second, blurb, what do you see happening in 2022? Put your crystal ball in front of you and do some stuff.
Well, in 2022, I hope we see a red wave in the House of Representatives and in the Senate. But I think that's only going to happen if the Republicans return to the platform which made them successful, which is to make America great again, put America first, no more milquetoast moderates like the person I'm running against, Young Kim. We have to go with policy, not pandering. So that's really what's going to get the Republicans. If they just, sit back and hope the Democrats make a mistake and really not offer a new vision or any sense of dynamism in the country, I don't think the voters will show out. So I do suspect that we will see some Republican gains, but they could be even greater. Like I said, if the Republicans return to the values that President Trump championed and allowed us to win back-to-back presidential elections. So that's my prognostication.
Okay, so here's my question for your prognostication. When they come at you, and they are, to try to get you to disassociate from President Donald J. Trump and simply say you're looking towards a brighter future of inclusive relationships with the other side of the aisle, what's going to be your position, brother?
Well, I would never disavow or, abandon Donald Trump, because Donald Trump really, I think, rekindled a flame within me as a young man back in 2015 when I saw him come down that golden escalator, and he earned my loyalty.
Man, that was straight pimp.
And he's I think he's the greatest president our country's had since, my favorite president personally. Him and Richard Nixon are my two favorite presidents. So I think he's the best we've had since. And
I got to do this real quick. He's coming in on the last second, guys. But please allow me to do this because I'm honored that he showed up. This is Joe Collins. He's running for Congress, right? Against Maxine. No, not against Maxine Waters no more because of the redistricting. Joe, are you there? Hello, Joe?
Yo, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Thank you all for letting me make that break right there. Joe Collins, thank you so much for coming on the show. Now that the districts have been chopped up, like Nick was trying to explain with Orange County, can you give us a brief breakdown on what's happening with your districts?
So what's happening with my district, with the 43rd district, they broke it up into two other districts. We registered 50,000 new Republicans in the 43rd district. And so what they did was it went from a D59 to a D24. We took it to a D24 with the amount of registrations. And so what they did was they included other heavy Democrat cities into the 43rd district. Now the district is back a D70, and they carved out, a few other districts that are less Democrat leaning. I think the objective was because you had two Democrats that were retiring, two Democrat congressional members that were retiring this year, Alan Lowenthal and the other lady, I think she was a Hispanic. They wanted to try to make the district as competitive as possible, but keep Maxine Waters and other powerful Democrats in their seats. And so that's what we're looking at. Even when you look at Orange County, I think where Young Kim is and where Michelle Steele is, those districts were heavy Republican leaning. Now they're more leaning towards Democrats. So, they're going to be into a fight as well. And then when you look at, you go up north and you look at where Devin Nunes is running, that used to be a R7, now it's a D17. You have other districts that used to be a D3, now they're D9s and 10s. Up where Tamika Hamilton is going to be running at. And so I think they did their best to try to make these races as competitive as possible, but give Democrats an edge without, being too obvious that they're trying to erase Republicans from California.
Understood. And see, Nick Torres, he's going heads up against Young Kim. That's the person he's going to be running against. And I hope that the deeper Republican wins. That's my chief concern. I don't want no more rhinos. I've had with them. But Joe, we were just in the wrap-up section, and what I was doing was asking everybody's prognostication for 2022. Put your crystal ball in front of you, sir. What do you see for 2022 in 30 seconds or less?
Oh, man, for 2022, I think we're going to have a lot of Republicans win in office, but not because of the reason that people think. People are going to win office as Republicans because of the terrible job that Democrats have been doing. But here's the kicker. if the Republican messaging isn't right for 2024, then the Republicans are end up losing a lot of seats in 2024. So we have to cater a message. We have to have a message that's catered towards the people and a prospective districts, and not just use an overall universal message that Democrats are doing a bad job. It's one thing to get into office, but it's another thing to do the job that is required in order to maintain that seat.
That's why I like you so much, because you keep it real and you be putting it down. I'm looking at Nick Torres. I'm looking at Joe Collins. These are young, hungry, strong Republicans. Oh, we got ourselves a nice deep bench. We just got to get serious. And I'm going to say this real quick to the older GOP, the GOOP. You know, you got that, Billy? You caught that, right?
Yeah.
The GOOP. Y'all got this. You either help these young men and start mentoring them to get into position, or because in the Air Force, I was in the 3701. That was the top flight for the United States Air Force Training Academy. And our motto was lead, follow, or get out the way. Well, you're not leading so good. These young men are ready to take over, and you don't look like you want to follow. What does that leave? What does that leave? Get the hell out the way. So now, Agnes, do you have your crystal ball in front of you?
Well, Joe, I just wanted to say I wish you all the best. It was nice to hear your voice today. I am very disappointed also with the redistricting. They split my city in three and took out a very conservative city, which was Redlands, out of my district. But as you know, Kenny, I most likely, with all due regret, I probably will not run this coming election because I'm dealing with some family issues with my grandson having a brain tumor. So my family will come first. But I wish everybody a tremendous luck in 2022 and 2024 for Donald Trump. Always make America great again. But the Republican Party is a disgrace. They need to pull themselves together, and they need to fight, not just because someone is a female, Latina, and they invest thousands upon thousands of dollars in one candidate. They need to support every Republican candidate.
And watch this. Agnes, don't go anywhere. Everybody stay there. I'm going to go ahead and extend this thing. It's getting really good. Nick, are you getting any love from the CAGOP?
No, I'm actually despised by the OCGOP and the COGOP because it's sad to say in California, which is the home to birthplace of Richard Nixon, the home of Ronald Reagan, where he spent his years as governor. So we have a great conservative legacy here. The California GOP is, I think, the weakest GOP chapter in the entire country. And the OCGOP, which I actually have a petition going right now to try to recall the GOP commissioner in the county, Fred Whitaker. They are currently going out and, having meetings with Caitlyn Jenner when she was running watch this. Pump
the brakes. Pump the brakes. You are a dynamo. You got so much information in you. We have got to do a show together. Now, collectively, I want to ask you guys, can I please get a bonus segment out of you all? Will you give me 15 more minutes of your time?
Let's do it.
Sure.
Let's do it. Because we just
I'm game. Let's go.
Woohoo! We just had the venerable Ted Hayes join in. He is the host of a show on Urban Smart Network called Your Power Weapon. And that's the weapon of the mind. He has been mentoring me and teaching me that, and I got it now. It's a weapon, but it's your mind, the very important thing. So Joe, I hope you stay with me for a few more minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and do a bonus segment, but I got such great people here. Ted, thank you for joining us, brother. Can you hear me? I can see your lips moving. So watch this, Madison. We'll get back to you, Ted. Yeah, right. I see you too. Madison, do you have your crystal ball in front of you?
I am hoping to see more people stand up against the COVID restrictions and the killing of the businesses, refusing to wear masks and just standing up against these stupid laws that they're creating that really aren't laws. And I hope people stand up. I hope to see collaboratively across the United States, businesses and everybody, just say enough of this and open back up.
So let me ask you a question, Madison. What does that look like to you? If you were in charge and everybody had to listen to you tomorrow morning, what would you tell people to do?
Use your own brain, make your own decision, take care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And so you're saying you don't need no stinky mask.
Not unless you want to. If
Not unless you
that
want
makes
to,
you feel
right.
safe, then you do that. You do you, but it doesn't make me feel safe. It makes me sick, so I'm not going to do that.
There it is. There it is. I can't breathe with the damn thing on. You know,
No.
it's really rough. So, Kat, do you have your crystal ball in front of you?
I foresee 2022 as both very good and very bad. Very good for the Republican Party, as lame as we are right now.
Ouch.
But it will be very good just because the Democrats, even themselves, are seeing the despicableness of what's going on. Also, though, I think that unfortunately, I believe that the powers that be, the Faucis of the world, will extend this variant going on thing up until the election so that they can do the mail-in voting. I foresee that that is what their goal is. And so, yeah, right now this Omicron is basically a cold. I mean, it has the exact same symptoms that you read on a NyQuil bottle. And
Really?
so, and they're just extending it because they want to have mail-in voting because that's how they cheated before.
Look at that. And see, okay, when I see everybody's prognostications, and now it's time to go to my brother Bentley right quick. Crystal ball.
Here's the thing, guys. I do believe it will be a good turnout for the Republicans. My concern, though, is that, unfortunately, I hope not, but it looks like we may end up having just another set of your same old rhinos win, maybe some new faces that are rhinos. But either way, it looks like we're going to have some rhinos win again, get nothing done, and then back to 24, it'll go back to the Democrats or whichever.
And see, that's exactly what Joe Collins was saying.
Yeah.
Joe he's a guru when it comes to this stuff. I love to hear him, express his thoughts because it's like a roadmap. You both saying the same thing, Bentley. You and Joe are saying exactly the same thing. We're going to get the ball in 2022, and then we're going to fumble it?
Yep, I think so. Yeah.
Joe?
I agree.
Yeah, the Republicans don't know how to play the game. And I'll say that because of this. I mean, look at the difference between the way the Democrats handle Republicans and the way Republicans handle Democrats. When Republicans say things that Democrats don't like, immediately strip their responsibilities, kicked off committees, and now their seat is up for grabs in the next election. Now, on the flip side, you see Democrats saying a bunch of things Republicans do absolutely nothing except for talking.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what we're getting. Even when you talk about things such as the mail-in ballots, I think Omicron is a blessing. I think that COVID was a blessing. And COVID was a blessing first because for the Democrats. Now, the Democrats did what was needed to be done to win, and we complained about it. Now, Omicron is here, and now we have the opportunity to do what's needed to be done in order to win using the mail-in ballots on Omicron. But I highly doubt that a lot of people will play that exact same game in order to win.
Wow. Yeah, and that's what Kathy was expounding on. Ted, I want to bring you in on this. We were wrapping up the show, but I'm extending it by one segment because I want to get your, it started at 6, but I want to get your prognostication on 2022. What do you foresee happening in 2022?
The brother's right about the Republicans are going to blow it again. They tend to do that all the time. All the Democrats have got to do, their strategy is lay low, leave them alone. Republicans will destroy themselves. And I'll tell you why the Republicans will destroy themselves. Because Republicans have abandoned their original 1854-56 mission to end chattel slavery and to see to it that the freed slaves and new citizens experience a citizenship as is enjoyed by white citizens according to the Civil Rights Act of 1866. You see, Republicans have been messing up ever since 1877 when they abandoned us with y'all go look this up. It's called the 1877 Democrat-Republican Compromise. It had to do, what are we going to do with these new niggers that we have?
Whoa. Okay, I'll bleep it out. So you said 18...
Well, I said nigras.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's the term that the Democrats came up with Joe, what's his name?
You got me
Lyndon
doing my
Johnson.
Ralph Crandom over here. Humming.
Okay. Yeah. Lyndon Johnson came up with that term.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's acceptable.
So what you're saying is 2022 is 1866. They're both double digits.
Yeah. If they do not finish the business of 1854 and 1856, we're going to lose the republic because the republics the Republican form of government hinges on how this nation addresses its greatest imperfection that it was born with. Didn't create it, was born with it. It received it from the British Empire. It depends on how we the people rectify the most grievous imperfection of our nation, which is chattel slavery and the succeeding generations. And the reason you see
well, Ted, I got to pump the brakes on that.
I'm sorry.
That too is another show. I've been blessed with such great luminaries tonight. Any one of you could do a whole hour show with me in an instant.
You're gonna have to extend this one another 15 minutes because I'm gonna fill in some missing pieces for Ted.
Okay. Good. You know what? I'm gonna do it.
My New Year's Eve plan is still up in the air. It might be Arrowhead. I'm not sure yet. Might just be staying home watching movies.
There it is. Darlene, Agnes, you just straight getting photobomb. Who is that young man?
This is my grandson, Aiden.
Hey,
Hi.
Aiden.
Hi, Aiden.
How you doing?
Mhm.
Good.
Well, my plans for New Year's Eve, because of the weather out here in Oregon, got drastically changed and changed completely my ability to travel because it's icing over again. It thawed a little bit this morning. Planes are not flying. Well, they're not flying into other places that have weather. So I will probably be staying home and watching movies. Maybe Madison and I can watch the same movie together.
There it is. So Bentley?
Same thing. I just want to chill at home. I'm going to have some homemade food, have a nice special lady friend coming over, making some traditional Japanese food. So I'm all good. I'm going to be happy.
There it is. So everybody, I want you to join in with me. Ted, everybody, please join in with me on a 10-second countdown to Happy New Year. And that's how we're going to go out of this show. Okay. So listen to me. There's no place I'd rather be. There's nothing more I'd rather do than being right here doing this show for you. This is Ken White and a cavalcade of stars wishing you a Happy New Year's. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!